Hey guys, NinjaGuyVR here, and today we're doing a review of C-Smash VRS on the MetaQuest. Now the game has been out on PSVR 2 since June 2023, but we're finally getting a standalone version on MetaQuest, so let's see how this compared to the PSVR 2 version. C-Smash VRS is coming out tomorrow, April 4th, 2024, and will be available on MetaQuest 2, Pro and 3 on MetaQuest Store for $25.51 Canadian. But if you pre-order it now, you will get a nice 18% discount and will bring the game down to $20.69 Canadian. The game has been developed by Wolf & Wood, creators of The Last Worker, Hotel R&R, and The Exorcist Legion VR, and it's been published by Rapid Eye Movers. Now for the people who don't know, the IP was originally called Cosmic Smash and it was released on the SEGA Dreamcast back in 2001. Unfortunately, the title was only released in Japan and a lot of people just never experienced it. I really like the cover of the game. It's bursting with the style that SEGA was aiming for during that early period. You can see a similar style with other box art such as Sonic Adventure and Jet Set Radio Future. So fast forward to today, this hidden gem has now gotten fully rebuilt in VR. And what a perfect game to play in the headset. The way it works is basically as if you'd be playing a mix of the squash sport mixed with a game like Arkanoid or Breakout. You have to hit a ball that bounces on the wall and then back to you. The goal of every level is to aim the ball at targets that will appear in your room as fast as possible. If you end up missing the ball, you don't need to worry about hitting the game over screen. The ball will respawn and then you can continue the level. The timer is what you need to keep a lookout for most of the time. You have a power-up meter that builds up as you hit the ball, and depending on what power-up you have, you can activate it to have things such as automatically hitting a target, manually aiming at target, and other things. The mechanics of hitting the ball is very nice. You can actually do a certain movement that will curve the ball when you hit it a certain way, and that makes it very convenient in certain sections of the level. The main mode of the game is called Journey Mode. When you select it, you are then greeted with two options, Zen Mode and Challenge Mode. They are almost exactly the same with the exception that Zen Mode does not have a countdown timer, so you can complete it at your leisure. So with Challenge Mode, if the timer goes down to 0, it's game over. The way Journey Mode works is that you have multiple orbits that you have to complete up until you reach the end boss at the end of the journey. When you start an orbit, you can select the path that you want to go to complete it. Some paths are easier than others, and some paths give you different types of power-ups, so you simply get to decide how challenging you want your adventure to be. I first completed Zen Mode and then completed Challenge Mode on my first try, so the amount of time that they give you is fairly reasonable. The other mode is online. Sadly, the early access did not provide the ability to play online with others, but you can still play this mode with AIs. I honestly can't wait to play against real people and see how well I do against them. There are a total of 3 modes online. The first online mode is head-to-head. You have to compete with an opponent where you have to hit all the blocks behind them for a total of 3 sections to win. The second mode is firewall, where you have to change the color of blocks on the wall in the middle while the opponent on the other side tries to do the same. The more blocks you have, the more time you accumulate. You can win by either accumulating a certain amount of time or by having all of the blocks change to your color. The last online mode is Quick Shot. There is one block that appears in the middle, and the first person to hit it will accumulate points. The block starts really small and grows bigger as time goes without hitting it. The smaller the block is, the more points you get by hitting it. The first player to get 10 points wins. Honestly, I enjoyed all 3 modes equally and I could see myself alternate between them. One thing that I find is that the opponent was kind of too easy. Out of the 3 modes, I've won first try on 2 of them, and it only took me about 15 minutes to beat them all. So this is why I'm looking forward to see how well I do with real people. A rank mode would be pretty cool for online, since I could see my competitive blood kick in with this. I just want to mention that the music is amazing in this game. The game contains songs created by DJ Ken Ishii, who also did music for Res Infinite. And there's also DJ Analog in there. It just really fits the Cosmic style and has just the energy that you need to play these levels. If you do enjoy the type of music that you'd hear in a game such as Res Infinite and Tetris Effect Connected, I'm confident that you will enjoy this one. It has the same type of arcade feeling as these. So back in September, a massive update came to the game on PSVR 2, and I'm happy to say that most of the content is also available on the MetaQuest version. So let's talk about all the new modes that came with this update. First, there's a mode called Uncle Teaser, which contains a handful of levels that you can play while listening to a reconstructed version of Ken Ishii's original Antimatter track. It's a really nice mode that brings a fresh aesthetic world and really enjoyable music. It was mentioned that we should look forward for future updates with Uncle, so we may get additional content in the future. The next mode that was added with this massive update was Infinite Mode. This is pretty self-explanatory, but you get to go from level to level endlessly. It's very different from the regular mode, and let me explain why. The first thing is that you have blocks behind you, and if you miss your ball, it'll hit one of the block, and it will be game over if there's no blocks left. Also, instead of having to hit blocks and stay still, they actually move towards you. If you get hit by one, you go in a recovery phase, and if you get hit again during that phase, you lose a block behind you. So this mode requires a lot of movement, which is pretty cool. You play in a much smaller space, so this mode was made for you to move a lot instead of using the joystick. And they've also added co-op in that mode, so you can go through this one with a friend, and once again, I just can't wait to try this out online. Other things that this update added was the ability to do emojis, AI bots in online mode, which I already talked about, new types of blocks, and a bunch of new levels. By the way, the game has a total of 140 levels, which is pretty neat. I believe that there is one feature that didn't make it in the Quest version, and that is the instant replays, where you can see a clip of the session that you just had in third-person mode. It's honestly fine, as I find that this is mostly just a nice thing to have. I'd rather have the other modes than this one. In terms of how long this game is, well, it depends. I feel like this is a completionist type of game. You can go through all 140 levels one by one and achieve an A rank on them. The game also has achievements that look super fun, like completing a total of 100 levels in infinite mode, beat the AI, complete a certain amount of levels and such. I'd say that you'd have at least 10 plus hours of things to do, but it can definitely expand by working through a global leaderboard which is in sync with the PSVR 2 leaderboard, and then just play online with people. Alright guys, I hope that this gives you a clear view on what the game is about. I had so much stuff to talk about and I'm happy that I could all put it in my own words. I would definitely recommend this game if you enjoy arcade style type of games. It's very addicting. I'd say that if you enjoyed Racket and X, it could definitely be another game that could fill that hitch. Thanks for watching! Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe if you don't want to miss any of my latest reviews, and comment and let me know what you think of the game. Bye everyone!